Anthony Lynn. He's an experienced coach. I mean, he has a little bit of a connection to the Shanahans because he played for Mike like 25 years ago, but essentially he has his own coaching philosophy, his own offense. And I think he's probably going to have his own imprint on this team. What do you think it will be?
You know, the first thing, so I did a little research on him last night, and the first thing that jumped out is extensive NFL coaching experience. We're talking going over a decade. This guy has been coaching for a long, long time. And more importantly, on 5 different teams, he has been the running backs coach. And I think that's really important when you lose McDaniel, when you have somebody like Deebo Samuel, Elijah Mitchell, the potential of Raheem Mostert, just a run-first team.
So real quick, he's been an assistant coach since 2000. Started off with Mike Shanahan.
He's a real coach.
Yeah, he's a very long time. 3 decades.
Career guy. And like I said, he's been the running backs coach on 5 different squads. And I think that bodes well for him coming into San Francisco. I think his duties will be in play calling minimal or relatively non-existent. I think he will have a lot of input into what Kyle Shanahan does as far as like an open oligarchy of leaders. The number one thing I like about him, his age, the sagacity, the fact that he brings this coaching experience, which Shanahan does not have. We all agree that Kyle is the brain case. He's the brilliance behind the machine that is the run-first offense of the 49ers. But I feel that somebody like this guy, Lynn coming in, can temper him a little bit. Like the fourth quarter meltdown against the Rams, giving Deebo the ball one time. I feel like this is the kind of disaster that can be averted by just having a guy there in Shanahan's ear that's like, hey, we're a run-first team.
Yeah.
Deebo got one touch.
Yeah.
Get him
I'm
another
just
one.
saying. So you're thinking about it, how he can improve the team as an assistant head coach. That's interesting. I wasn't going there. Keep going. That's interesting.
To me, I think we have the skill. I think we have the coaches, even with McDaniel gone. But what we don't have is a great decision process sometimes. And that is what really scares me about the 49ers.
Yes.
So I feel like he kind of like will help us stick to what we do. I just think that he's a guy who does not have necessarily the brilliance of Kyle, but he probably is a little bit better on the leadership and the management aspect. And that's just a function of the fact that he is so experienced and he's older.
Okay, I agree with you. I think he's pretty much been universally regarded as like a off-the-charts leader. I want to talk about his X's and O's, what his influence on the scheme is going to be. I think he's got a lot of background with 11-on-11 run game football, if you understand what I'm saying. Yes, like Mike McDaniel's real good, but back when he was with Washington and they were running zone read with RG3, he was a wide receiver coach. And also that run game wasn't extremely sophisticated. It was 10 years ago they were running the zone read. Now, all the stuff that Mike McDaniel's doing, he did it because Jimmy Garoppolo was his quarterback and he had to find creative ways to run the ball 10-on-11. That's what he's kind of mastered. I think the 11-on-11 thing is going to be a whole new calculus, a whole new problem, and he can do it, but he's new to it. And it's something that Lynn's been doing for a while. I think he had the number 1 run game in the league in 2016 with Tyrod Taylor doing stuff like this. So it's his background, and I think Kyle will lean on him.
I think one of the things that this does for us, and it's gonna kind of hinge on Trey Lance, and it already does. And the thing that I love most excited about Lynn coming in here and helping us is that Deebo Samuel is great. And like Colin Kaepernick, I feel like defenses are going to hone in and try to make us a little bit more 2 or 3 dimensional. I mean, Deebo's like the 5th dimension of an offense. He's just something that is really hard to account for. But with him coming in this 11-on-11 football, as you say, Trey Lance, I think, opens the Deebo window even further. And I think that Lynn is gonna look better because of that. But I think that, like you said, the experience with Tyrod Taylor is important. And that's actually, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing Tyrod Taylor as a backup, just because of that experience, that connection, and the kind of like the layman's equivalence to Trey Lance. A little weaker in every category, but regardless, I just think that Lynn brings all of this to this team. But most of all, I think he does perpetuate our run game. I think we take a step forward. I don't think we see any drop off from what we had this year.